there, everybody. Cindy Hartzell with Hartzell Confidence-Based Horsemanship, and this is a recording for our online membership group. This is our monthly lecture video, and this month's topic is combining the last 2 months' topics. So 2 months ago, we talked about the power of patterns and why we do patterns with our horses. And then last month, we talked about the 6 basic things horses do naturally, which is go forward and backwards, left and right, up and down, walk, trot, canter, lope, and back down to a standing still. So I have been thinking a lot about these 2 topics, especially because it's that time of the year when I'm recording this video, where the weather's getting nice, we're coming out of winter, we're ready to start hitting the trails, we're starting to ride our horses more than we were during the winter time, and our horses can be a little spicy. They can be a little rusty, from being laid up all winter, from us not doing a lot with them. So it's really, really important that we nurture the partnership and the relationship with our horses. And that is, for me, that is taking place every time I engage with my horses, whether I'm going out to feed them, fly spray them, just to say hi to them, haltering them, walking them. As I've been focusing on these 2 topics, the power of patterns and the 6 basic things horses do, as well as in the process of creating and filming and writing about my 12-week online program called The Pathway to True Unity, there's a lot of things that are coming to my awareness in how I engage with my horses and how I see other people engaging with their horses. And one of the things that's really standing out to me that I've been observing in these last couple of weeks is how almost mindlessly we tend to be when we go in and halter up our horses and we walk them out of their enclosure, their habitat, their home, their space, and out into the grooming area or the tacking area or the round pen or the arena to work with them on the ground. There's a lot of unconscious body language and behavior that is taking place in the person that they're not even aware of, but it means a lot to the horse. And some of it's safety things, and some of it is just lack of attention to the partnership and the relationship. It's kind of like, have you ever been with somebody and you guys get out of the car and they start walking way ahead of you? And you're kind of like, you find yourself trying to keep up with them. And then there's moments that I'm like, why even bother? Are we together or are we here individually? It doesn't feel like we're together, like we're engaging in the activity that we've agreed to participate in. Well, it's the same for the horses. And I watch my clients where they'll go in and halter up their horse and they will walk their horses like sometimes a puppy dog behind them or sometimes the puppy dog in front of them until they get to the arena or the round pen, and then they go inside and it's like, okay, let's get to work. And that's okay. I mean, there's really nothing wrong with it. But for me, the partnership and the relationship starts the minute that I walk into the pen. And I want my horse to see me. I want them to feel seen. I want them to feel like they are my partner from the minute I halter them up. So that's just something that's coming up for me, and I feel like it's worthy of being talked about. When we're thinking on the lines of the 6 different things horses do naturally, forward, backwards, left, right, up, and down, how does that play out when we are engaging with our horses from the minute we walk into their pen? And it can happen without a halter and lead rope, and it can happen with a halter and lead rope. I think for the sake of this conversation, I'm going to talk about as if we're going in to halter up our horses and take them out to go do something with them. I see a lot of people, and I have caught myself as well, kind of pulling our horses around. And again, that's okay. Depends on the depth of the partnership and relationship you're striving for. And if you're watching this video, I think you're striving to have a greater relationship and partnership with your horse. So when I halter up my horse, and let's say I walk in and they don't necessarily come greet me, and I walk up to them and I halter them, and their hind end is facing the gate that I just came through, that we're gonna turn around and go through. I can just turn and mindlessly go towards the gate, and they're gonna turn and follow me. Or I can take it as an opportunity to practice my leadership skills and begin the communication right at the get-go. And what that might look like is, I'm going to love them and rub them and acknowledge them after I halter them up. And then I might ask them to disengage their hindquarters and turn and face the gate. And then we walk together. And when I say walk together, I do not like to have my horses follow behind me. I mean, there's a time for that. We've had this conversation in other videos. There is a time for that. But I, on an average, as a rule of thumb, I have my horses walk shoulder to shoulder with me. And so we'll start walking shoulder to shoulder to the gate. And at that time, I'm making sure that my horse is staying with me and they're not shooting past me. And if they're trying to, I'm communicating with that lead rope and saying, hey, back up. I might even stop and see if they stop with me. And if they don't, then I'm going to, wiggle that rope and get in their way of forward motion and ask for that stop. And then I'll even back up and ask that they back up shoulder to shoulder with me. So the minute that I halter them, the communication has begun, the dance has begun, the partnership has begun. And then when I walk them out the gate, we so often, and one of these days I'm going to do a video on how to correctly go in and out of gates, because there's a lot of stuff going on there that could be better and actually is kind of dangerous. And I see people's horses that are being left in the pen slip out simply because the way that they're going in and out of the gates are not the most savvy way to be done. So I'm going to open the gate, and I'm not going to necessarily walk out the gate. I want to be able to send my horse out the gate and then disengage their hindquarters and stand and face me and wait for me to come out of the gate and close it. How many horses want to charge out the gate before you? That's disrespect. That's alpha behavior. That's leader behavior. That's disrespectful leadership behavior. Kind of goes back to that, you just got out of the car to go to the movies and the person you're with is like 10 steps in front of you. When we walk up to wherever we're going, again, are they with me? Can they stop and back up? Can they move left or right? Can I, when I'm walking beside a horse and say I'm on the left side and I want to go to the right? How do we do that? Well, there's a way that we are asking that we can step into our horses and they will yield to us and we can rotate together and go that direction. So these are things that I'm going to be doing in the on ground video so that you guys can see how that goes and how that respect begins from the get-go. And then in this video, the groundwork and the riding videos, where I'm going to be working with Dakota on patterns that focus on the 6 things they do naturally in a way that is strengthening the communication between the two of us and helping me to be very, very good at moving her those 6 directions on the ground and in the saddle. Because as we're setting out for this amazing warm weather season and we want to spend lots of time with our horses, those are kind of like at that foundation of super important, solid foundations so that you can build a successful partnership and relationship on. We don't want a foundation built on sand. And so many relationships with people and their horses are built on sand because they simply don't understand the way to create that solid foundation. And then once we begin to create that solid foundation, we tend to not pay attention. Here's Gabriel. What would a video be without Gabriel? We tend to look at it like, okay, I am getting ready to go work my horse in the arena. Well, you don't start having the conversation with them until you get to the arena. And that's okay, but it's not real solid leadership. It's not nurturing the partnership and the relationship. So that's what this month is going to be about. It's going to be about some patterns that are going to really give you the opportunity to play with those 6 things horses do naturally on the ground and in the saddle. And I hope that you will play with this month's topic a lot. You cannot do too much. And as you play with really getting good at being able to move your horse in the 6 directions that they do naturally, with harmony and partnership and ease, and have it be natural for the 2 of you, the more that you're going to see how your confidence and trust in each other just skyrockets. And you will begin to notice as you go through this season out on the trail, showing endurance, clinics, whatever it is you choose to do with your horses, you're going to notice how much more aware you are of what part of your horse is moving, what part of your horse do you need to communicate to best achieve what you're trying to achieve together. And my goal is to empower you with the knowledge, the understanding, and the tools and the skills to be able to maneuver through anything that you come across in your experiences with your horses. So that's what this month's all about. I'm super excited to be getting ready to go out and film these two videos with Dakota, because Dakota and I are still working on this. She's getting better and I'm getting better, but you know, horsemanship is like ballroom dancing and martial arts. It is a way of life. And the more that we understand it and make it a natural part of what we do, the more our relationships and our partnerships are going to benefit from it. And the more joy that not only we have with our horses, but our horses have with us. So you guys, I look forward to talking about this at our live Zoom call that we'll be having this month. And as always, please, please, please write your comments, questions, concerns, frustrations, whatever you want to talk about in regards to this video, write it in the comments on our Facebook group, because that's the way we all grow. All right, you guys, I'm super excited to see you in the next video.